Welcome to another edition of Our City. This show begins airing on Valentine's Day, and I want to extend to all of the people in the city of Elizabeth a very happy Valentine's Day. A few things going around the city of Elizabeth this week. On Thursday, February 16th and Friday, February 17th, I'm going to join the New Jersey Chamber of Commerce in a walk to Washington, D.C. This annual trip provides unprecedented networking opportunities not only for city officials, but legislative and congressional officials as well. In Washington, D.C., participants will attend the 80th annual congressional dinner where the senators and members of Congress will be able to meet with the delegates. On Monday, February 20th, please be advised that City Hall will be closed in observance of President's Day and George Washington's birthday. On Wednesday, February 22nd, at 5:30 in the evening, I'm going to join the Greater Elizabeth Chamber of Commerce's after-hours business networking event. It will be held at the lobby on Spring Street, and this event brings together the business community and the governmental community to talk about the progress of our community. If you need more events concerning this event or any events, please call our Public Information Office at 908-820-4124. And please stay with us. After these messages, I'm going to be pleased to be joined by members of my alma mater, St. Mary's High School in the city of Elizabeth.
Why do we like it here? Let's just say the reasons are diverse. Kean University.
Welcome back to our city, where I'm pleased to be joined by three seniors at St. Mary's High School. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you.
First, I have Miss Alize Stevenson. Alize, welcome.
Hello.
Mr. Christian Diaz and Miss Sheydline Grant.
Hello.
Thank you. Welcome to the show. You're all seniors, right?
Right.
Yes. Yep.
So, we'll start with you, Alize. You've been there 4 years?
I've been there for 3. I transferred sophomore year.
Where'd you come from?
Abraham Clark in Rosedale.
Okay. And what's your experience from moving from a public school in Rosedale to a Catholic high school in Elizabeth?
I mean, it was definitely different. Definitely being in a public school, it's a lot more kids, not a lot of one-on-one attention. When I transferred to St. Mary's, I definitely noticed the difference. You know, it was definitely a lot more attention given to their education. They definitely made sure that I succeeded in all my classes, made sure that my grades were on point, and definitely cared about what I did.
Now, you're also on the bowling team, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, and you roll anchor for them, huh?
Yes.
You've been there all 4 years?
Yeah.
But you told me you won the county championship this year, right?
Yes. I won it twice.
You won it twice?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You plan to do that in college?
Yes.
Right. You know, for somebody who's very talkative off the camera, you're very shy on the camera. What's going on?
I wouldn't say I'm shy.
You're quiet.
I mean, it depends on the questions you ask me.
Oh, so I gotta ask better questions.
Yeah, you gotta ask me some better questions.
We're gonna come back to that. So, Christian, you've been there 4 years?
No, I've been here 3 years.
Okay, where'd you come from then?
Freshman year, I went to school in East Hanover at Hanover Park High School.
Okay, and how did you go from there to Elizabeth?
It's a long story. After my mom passed away, I moved in with my father, and we lived with him and his girlfriend, me and my brother, in East Hanover. And once we finished school there, we were really struggling in our schools. So my dad ended up leaving her, and we came over here back to our hometown in Elizabeth.
So your dad's an Elizabeth guy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Well, I wish you well in St. Mary's.
Thank you.
And what was your career like over the last 3 years? Enjoy it?
Yeah, freshman year, it's definitely a step up these last 3 years that I've had. Being able to be in a much smaller community and having more one-on-one attention with my teachers really helped me better myself in all my subjects.
You got a favorite subject, Kristen?
Yes, I really like math and science.
Oh, good, good. Sheydline, how about you? You a 4-year student?
No, I'm actually a 1-year student.
You're a 1-year student. You just came here senior year.
Yeah.
Where were you before this?
I was in Cathedral High School in Manhattan.
Oh, really? And so you moved here, I guess.
Yeah, I did.
You're not commuting from Manhattan, are you?
No, I'm not. Definitely not.
Do you have some favorite subjects, Sheydline?
My favorite subject right now is theology. I like that class a lot. And I also have English.
They didn't have theology when I was going to St. Mary's. I can tell you, no, they didn't have that. They had a religion course, but that was about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you enjoying that theology?
Yeah, I like it. It's a different aspect of things. You get a different view.
Now, have all of you picked universities?
No.
No, not as of yet, no.
Not yet. But we're going to talk about the process of instant decision day.
Yes.
So who wants to start? What is instant? We didn't have this either. I went to high school in a different era. We didn't have cell phones either. So what's an instant decision day?
Well, Instant Decision Day is pretty much a college or university comes to our school and tells us whether or not we're accepted that particular day. So our guidance counselor gets a profile, puts our transcripts, our SAT and ACT scores along with our personal essay all in one profile. We go downstairs to the Career Center where we interview with the admissions director. We ask them questions, they ask us questions. After all that's done, they evaluate our profile and let us know right on the spot if we're accepted.
I must have asked a better question because you talked a lot more in that.
I definitely did.
Is there a specific standard, Christian, to meet in order to participate in Instant Decision Day?
Yes, there is. Many different colleges have their own criteria for being admitted. Some schools may have a 3.0 GPA, other schools may require you have a certain SAT scores, and some schools don't even need your SATs.
Shadeen, has this happened yet? Have we had Instant Decision Day yet?
Yes, we have. We had about 10 schools come to our school already for instant decision. We also had Montclair State, Felician, Georgian Court, and also
In JCU.
JCU.
So Shadeen, what was your experience in dealing with Instant Decision Day?
I found Instant Decision Day a really good aspect because it gives us a chance to meet with the admissions director one-on-one, see how they wanted us to view their school. We got to ask questions about how their school would make our lives a little easier for us. It was very good.
Were there any colleges or universities you preferred over others?
I preferred Montclair. I really liked that admissions director, and I also like St. Elizabeth.
And Christian, how about you? Any
As of
kind of tickled you?
Yeah, as of right now, I'm looking at either coming here to Kane or going to Seton Hall.
That's good. Two good choices. But none of you picked yet.
No.
So Alize, let me ask you this. It's understanding here in my notes that the class of 2017 has received over $4 million in scholarships.
Yes.
Do you know anything about these, or the highest scholarships given or anything?
So far, I received 3 full rides. Also, I received $100,000 from Fairleigh Dickinson. I know some of my classmates have received almost the same amount. I know Christian had, what did you have?
$90,000 for 4 years at Seton Hall.
It's a big deal.
Yes.
So somebody's giving you $100,000 and $90,000, and you haven't made up your mind yet?
No.
You got to help me with it. I mean, I got to tell you, if anybody was giving me that kind of money, I'd be. What do you do? Ask for more? I mean, what do you do? What's the next step?
$25,000 or go to school for free.
I know.
Go to school for free.
Of course.
Yes.
So you haven't made it because you've gotten more than one offer.
Yes. But however, I'm still waiting to hear back from other schools. So I'd rather have everything all together first and then sit down with my parents and discuss the best option first and then make my decision.
So are you leaning towards anywhere, like your 2 classmates are leaning somewhere? You're not yet.
I'm actually leaning towards going to college out of New Jersey. I would rather go somewhere else and try to get a different experience with a lot of different other people to try to, contribute to my further success.
And Christian, $90,000 is Seton Hall, I would take it, or somewhere else?
Yes, Seton Hall for all 4 years.
And Kane, you'd have to pay for it.
Kane, they're offering me 75% off my tuition.
I never got deals like this. I have to tell you, it's. I went here for 9 years. I liked it so much. I just kept paying because I took my time in getting my degree. Shadeen, how about you? You have opportunities out there?
I received $60,000 from St. Elizabeth and $25,000 from Georgian Court.
That's pretty. Is Georgian Court still all women, or is that now co-ed?
I think that is now co-ed.
It's now co-ed. It was
Co-ed.
all women for many, many years. Mm-hmm. So with all of your college acceptances, the determining factor in choosing a university next year? You obviously haven't choose one. At least you said you're going to meet with your parents and talk about it, right?
Yes.
And you're leaning in the two. So, Christian, is there something going to push you over the edge and make that decision?
Well, I haven't received 2 responses yet from 2 of the schools I've applied to. I'm still trying to wait for word from NJIT and Stevens Institute before I make any of my decisions, because those 2 schools really have the programs that I'm really interested in.
And Sheydline, how about you? What's going to push you over the edge to make a choice?
Well, I really want to stay closer to home just because I just moved here. And I like...
You're still getting used to here, right?
Right. I want an institution where I can be, it's friendly and it's safe for me to go to school.
Good for you. I think it's really interesting that the 3 of you are all focused on the next step, which I find extremely impressive. And so the university you plan to attend in the fall, have you chosen your majors yet, Alize?
I was leaning towards marketing, but now looking at, the careers that are actually in marketing, I'm actually thinking about going in undecided to try to take the core courses first and get those out of the way. So therefore, when I pick a major, I can just jump right into what I want to do.
Christian, have you chosen a major?
I'm really interested in doing some type of engineering, but right now the main type I'm trying to focus on is biomedical engineering.
Biomedical engineering.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what that is. What?
There's a lot of different opportunities you can do in biomedical engineering. Some of them you can do knee replacements. There's artificial hands and arms.
I'm going to need them. No, not the artificial hands and arms. The knees.
Yeah.
At some point.
Mm-hmm.
Sheydline, what about you? Would you pick a major?
Yeah, I actually have picked my major. I wanted to major in psychology and minor in criminology because I like to study the brain. It's fascinating to me. Also, I used to watch a show a lot that encouraged me to pursue my career in psychology.
Well, that's a heck of a combination, and trust me, from my vantage point, you need both in dealing with society. So as we wrap up the first segment of the show, you're seniors, you're graduating. Sheydline, you've been there for 1 year. You 2 have been there for 3 years. So you have a different perspective on the length of time you've been there. Sheydline, so I'm going to start with you since you've been here 1 year. What would you give an incoming freshman advice at St. Mary's? Somebody comes up to you and says, Sheydline, should I go here?
I would say yes, you should go here. It's a very funny environment. You get to work with the student body. Your teachers are good. You have a close contact with everybody else. It's a small school, but it's very friendly. For my advice for freshmen incoming, I would say work hard because at the end of the day, the work that you put in now will affect you later.
And Christian, you're a 3-year student at St. Mary's. What do you tell some 8th grade kid that says, hey, should I go to St. Mary's or should I not?
Well, for me, St. Mary's was all about bettering myself after what happened my freshman year, me not putting in the work that was necessary in order to better myself and be prepared for college. And in these 3 years, I was able to get ahead of where I was in my past, and I'm able to focus on my future.
And you got to hand it to your father because he recognized it too, and he made sure you got an education the next 3 years, huh?
Yes.
Good for you. And what about you? What do you think you would tell an incoming freshman?
I would tell
away
it
from the mayor or no?
Definitely, I would tell him that.
Yeah.
I'm lying.
You're my buddy. Okay.
I would tell an incoming freshman to honestly just listen. Listen and pay attention. I mean, there's so many things that you'll miss coming in as a freshman because, it's a new environment. It's very easy to get caught up into something else. So I would just say listen and to focus,
So I'm going to join the second half with 3 more of your classmates, and I want to thank the 3 of you for being on the first segment, and I wish you well in your choices to make a decision on the university, and I hope you let me know how you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please stay with us after these messages of back with more. 3 students from my alma mater talking about the STEM program at St. Mary's High School.
We're an American original, dependable, historic, nuanced, with all the comforts of home, even when you're just visiting. So we're celebrating for all that we've left untouched and all that we've changed. A place where the past meets the future. So consider this your invitation.
We've been celebrating here in Elizabeth for 350 years, and we're just getting started. Welcome back to our city, where I'm pleased to be joined by 3 juniors, the class of 2018 at St. Mary's. First, Miss Sarei Mosquera, Mr. Moustapha Barry,
Hello.
and Miss Sheydline Moise.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good
Good to see you.
too.
Sheydline, you're a junior,
Yes,
and how long have you been at St. Mary's?
I've been in St. Mary's for all the 4 years. Well, 3 years now, but
Well,
I'm
you're rushing yourself, huh?
Yeah,
You
I'm
know.
ready to
So you're all-
graduate.
the reason I like the junior class is my daughter's a junior.
Oh, she
Yeah,
is.
she is. She's a junior at Union Catholic. I know it's another school, but
Right.
she's the same age of all you folks. So it's kind of fun to listen to your dreams because I don't get anything from her. She's very quiet at my house. So the STEM program, who wants to define STEM for me?
I got you.
You got me?
I got you.
Okay, Moustapha, you go.
Well, STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It's the study of how all those subjects combine and help you achieve what you want in the real world, because most of the careers we have nowadays revolve around STEM.
So is the STEM an elective program at St. Mary's?
Yes.
And why do you think, Sarei, STEM is receiving so much attention in today's world, and following up what Moustapha just said?
Well, STEM is receiving so much attention because it really gives students the chance to learn more practical knowledge, and it allows us to use what we've been using in the classroom and put it into action. And also, there are plenty of competitions around New Jersey that are really getting kids excited.
And Sheydline, what made you choose STEM?
Well, I chose STEM because I have always had an interest in some type of medical field. Like, I would personally like to be a cardiologist. I'm fascinated by the heart, and the STEM program at St. Mary's, although it's concentrated on engineering, I still learn more. I get to explore more careers, so I get to know what to expect.
The young lady sitting in that seat in the first segment was stimulated by the brain.
Ah,
And
yeah.
now you're stimulated by the heart. The two of you are going to get together at some point, I think. So the advantages of STEM, the two of you kind of talked about it in the beginning, but you've been in STEM for 3 years now. Tell me more about what you think the advantages of STEM going forward are.
Well, I just feel like most of the careers you have nowadays, they revolve around STEM. So you can really be successful. You can really be successful if you're surrounded by science, technology, engineering. I think engineering is one of the best parts about STEM because there's just so many options. It's like endless opportunities for you to do when you're under engineering.
So is there one of these categories you look to move forward in? Like Sheydline's already picking the heart. And
I'm not sure yet, but I think if it comes down to it, it's gonna be technology or engineering.
And how about you? Do you think you picked one of these, Sarei, where you want to move forward?
I'm not sure if I want to be an engineer just yet. I'm taking it just to see if I like it and to see what it takes. But like Moustapha, I think I would do technology or engineering.
What do you do in engineering class these days? What are you learning?
We've done a lot. We've done a lot of different projects. We've done a penny boat, which it's a penny boat. We've built a bridge. We've done coding, which is actually one of our most recent projects.
What is coding and how is it related to STEM?
Coding is. You want to take that?
All right, well, coding falls under the engineering and technology aspects of STEM. When you code, you learn how to manipulate the computer, and you can, you basically control everything the computer does, and you could, tell the computer what to do, and it just does it for you.
Really?
Yep.
So why bother then?
Right?
I mean, if the computer's going to do it for you, right?
Yep.
Just kidding. So engineering, Sheydline, you prefer the engineering part of this?
Not yet. I find it to be quite difficult. And
so do I, by the way. That's why I'm asking these questions.
It is difficult, but it is an interesting field, and you get to learn a lot about how things work and how you can create and help others. So I quite like it.
Yeah, but with computers and everything, it's kind of, you can find a lot of the answers, can't you, or no? No, not so much, Sarei?
I mean, You could, but it's better to learn it on your own. You know, it's part.
Teachers love that answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, honestly, it's better to learn it on your own, because what if one day you need to use that in the real world? It's better to know it and to have said, oh, I learned this, I know it, let me just apply it now in this situation. So instead of going on the computer and looking up.
Yeah, so that's a great skill that you normally, most people would say, I just go on the computer and learn, but that's a great skill. You learned it on your own. I have this little word game I play with my daughter every day. Every day I text her a word, and she has to give me the definition back. So, yeah, we do this every day. And then if I fall behind, I give it in 2 words or 3 words next day.
That's good practice for the SATs. That's
Yeah, I know.
nice.
So we do this little game, but I know she's looking up the words. So yeah. So then I make her use it in a sentence.
Right.
You know? So it's kind of like it's a skill, right? So what other skills besides the one you just talked about, learning it, do you think you get from this program?
Well, some of the skills that you get from engineering, well, the STEM program at our school, is that you get to learn leadership, problem solving, critical thinking, budgeting, and, you know, all these come together. And, well, the most important, I would say, would be communication, because you need to work together with your teammate. You need to communicate in order to get the project running and to have a good outcome.
So a penny boat project is what you said?
Yes.
What is it? I'm sorry, I don't know what a penny boat is.
Basically, what the penny boat project was, we were given a list of materials and a budget, and we would use the materials. We were given a $50 budget. We would use the materials to create the boat as best as we can. We were given popsicle sticks, plastic wrap,
Aluminum
toothpicks.
foil.
What was it?
Aluminum foil.
Aluminum foil. And we had to put our penny boat, once it was done, in the water and count how many pennies the penny boat could hold until it sank. And that was one of the...
So the better constructed boat held more pennies, or not necessarily?
I would say yes. I would say so, yes.
Because I would imagine that there could be a sloppily
Yes.
There could
done
be.
boat that
There
could
was.
hold more pennies. So
That
There-
has happened.
There was.
That has happened.
yeah, there's probably somebody did a really
Yes.
junky penny boat,
It's-
but it held more pennies.
Yeah, especially because it was our first time doing it. We really just
So
went at it.
was the skill that had to be learned the buoyancy of the boat, or the amount of
Yes,
pennies?
exactly.
What was the goal?
Just hold as much pennies as
Yeah.
you can.
So the
amount of
goal
pennies.
wasn't the buoyancy of the boat; it was the whole.
Well, that was part of
Nope.
it.
Well, that was part of it because
We had to learn about it.
our engineering teacher, Miss Mosquera, she's right over there. It's like she looks for everything that you do. She sees how well you guys work together, if you guys communicate, make sure everybody is doing their part. It's also like about how many pennies you can hold, but also like, do you understand the science behind it?
See, my class would have done this and put pennies in the boat, have the boat sink, and then call it an enemy boat or something like that. That's what my class would. They would have called that a success because the boat sunk, but you couldn't get away with that.
Nope.
No.
See, one kid did a history project when I was in class, and they did the Battle of Gettysburg, and they brought in a bunch of soldiers and they laid them down on a piece of cardboard because they all died at Gettysburg. So they called it the Battle of Gettysburg. That kid got a good grade
Clever.
too. I can't figure that
A
out.
good grade?
Yeah, I couldn't figure that out. So what careers involve the principles of STEM? What you talked about, some of them. You talked about studying the heart, right?
Yes.
So what do you think, Sarei, would be some careers involving the principles of STEM?
Anything involving science or mathematics, a lot of computer science. STEM just in general opens up so many different doors to so many different fields. It's unbelievable what you can do.
Is every student at St. Mary's in STEM or no?
No,
No.
not, unfortunately.
It's
not
a class
everyone.
that's offered to juniors and
Yes.
seniors.
Okay. So you talked about the penny boat. Is there a favorite project you've done so far? Or-
Favorite project?
For me, it would have to been the civil engineering project where we had to build a bridge. It was made out of toothpicks, and we were being judged on budgeting, cost efficiency, and what else was it? Oh, the overall design.
Yes.
And my team actually got first place, so that also helped. That
Wow.
also helped.
Well, that would
Well,
be my
what?
favorite
Wow.
project if you got first place. What was the project?
The project was, we learned about the different types of bridges, suspension, trusses, and we had to choose one of them and then see which could hold the most load.
Were you on? You're nodding your head. Were you on that team?
Yeah, no, I was not on her team, but we.
My partner was actually Sheydline, so.
Yes.
Oh, Sheydline, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
My partners are not here.
Your partners are not here.
No.
Oh, okay. So, is there a competition that's set up here, Moustapha?
Yes, it's very
And is
competitive.
it team competition or individual competition?
Team.
Both. Team.
Yes.
And your teammates are not here either, right, Moustapha?
My teammate is right over there.
Yeah, your teammate is here. Okay.
Yep.
And how did you do if Sheydline got first place? How did you do?
Well, you see, I am under the impression that my team worked excellent and we should have got first place. But I feel like we actually have the same amount of weights, but their bridge had more like scientific elements to it, and it looked better overall.
was
So they
better.
got first place.
So the moral of the story is looking better gets first place. Is that?
Not really. Their bridge
Sarei?
was practically falling apart when our teacher was putting on the load. So, it was kind of.
So it has been looking
We
better.
had it there, yeah.
So Ray, you're chuckling. Is looking better the answer here, or not really?
I'm sorry?
Looking better the answer here, or not really?
I don't think so.
No.
No, I think our teacher's very fair with that. Just Sheydline got first place.
Yeah, you know.
There's sorry, Moustapha.
He seems to really be bent out of shape about this.
Yeah.
I'll get him next time.
But our-
Don't worry about
That's
it.
the attitude.
All right.
Our teacher is very fair. She afterwards, after we did the project, she actually does different prizes. So one group gets most efficient cost, most unique design, things like that.
And the load.
So what are the categories that or the teams judged by? What different categories?
Oh, like I said before, some of them were the budget, using your money wisely,
Okay.
the design, and how much load it could hold.
Teamwork important here?
Yeah,
Definitely.
So
Very.
Sheydline, would you say you had a better team than Moustapha in getting first place? Is that?
Yeah, actually, I was at a disadvantage. I was the smallest group. It was just me and Sheydline, while they had 3 to 4 partners. So
I had 2.
2. All right, so it was like 2 to 4 partners, and I had only one to work with.
Oh.
So we were closer. Our communication, I feel, was better. So yeah.
'Cause
And
yeah.
and we had to work together. We had to compromise.
Moustapha, man, you're getting killed here.
You know what?
So what was the challenge, Moustapha, last year's STEM competition? What's the biggest challenge?
Well, the
Beating
biggest
Sheydline, I
challenge.
think, right? Beating Sheydline is probably the biggest challenge.
Beating Sheydline is a challenge, but it's not the biggest challenge.
Oh.
The biggest challenge is using what you're given and trying to make something out of it.
Good. Anything? What do you think your biggest challenge was?
For definitely the biggest challenge was moving everything from the testing area to the judging area in the time that you were allowed. Because you had to keep going back, like testing it, and then okay, let's go back and get it judged, and then go back and testing it again, and it was a lot.
Stressful.
Sheydline, what was your
It was very
biggest
stressful.
challenge? Stressful. is a-
Yeah, we had to work together. The materials, of course, were a problem because you had to think outside the box. How could we make this work? And testing it, making sure everything was right, moving it, that was all part of it.
So I want to thank the 3 of you for joining me on the show.
Thank you.
I wish you well in
you.
your senior year as you complete your junior year at St. Mary's.
Thank you.
I hope to see you at some of the games or some of the other things that St. Mary's does with the
Yes.
city.
Most definitely.
And I wish you well, and I think the STEM project's going to be a good base for all of you.
Yes.
So,
We
Absolutely.
appreciate that.
so I want to thank Miss Sheydline Grant, Miss Alize Stevenson, and Mr. Christian Diaz, who were on the first segment of the show, Miss Sarei Mosquera, Mr. Moustapha Barry, and Miss Sheydline Moise for joining me on the second half. St. Mary's students, St. Mary's and Elizabeth, please join us next week on another edition of Our City.
Offering everything you could want from college, including a life. Kane University.